Remember that feeling of walking into a room and instantly questioning everything about yourself? I swear, it's that rush of awkwardness that gets me every time I have to strike up a conversation with someone new.
Yeah, it's almost like everyone's suddenly hyper aware of every word and gesture. There's this pressure to be interesting on the spot. And honestly, I think it holds a lot of us back from just saying hi.
Totally. I think it's partly because we put huge expectations on what that first impression means. Like, if I mess this up, I'll never recover.
But what's wild is most people are just as nervous and caught up in their own heads. Sometimes realizing that can lower the stakes a bit, don't you think?
So, with that in mind, I started practicing on baristas and cashiers, the people you only interact with for 2 minutes. It's surprising how much easier it got over time.
Jumping in with strangers who you'll probably never see again, right? It sounds almost trivial, but each little exchange builds up your confidence muscle just a bit more.
And the stakes are basically zero. Even if you stumble, there's no lasting embarrassment. After a while, it stopped feeling like a big deal to open my mouth first.
There's something freeing about that. Plus, you get to experiment. I once tried complimenting someone's hat as an opener and ended up in this 5-minute chat about vintage fashion. Super fun.
Funny you mention experimenting, because I realized how much body language sets the tone before you say anything. A smile or even standing a bit taller makes a huge difference.
Absolutely. Most people underestimate the effect of posture and eye contact. I read somewhere that over half of communication is nonverbal, and honestly, it checks out.
Just adjusting your shoulders and making eye contact, even if you have to fake it a bit, seems to trick your brain into feeling more relaxed.
It's like the outside influences the inside. When I force myself to do the confident stance, I actually feel less nervous. Wild how that works.
That brings me to nerves. I used to see anxiety as a sign I should stay quiet, but lately, I view it as just extra energy, almost like fuel.
I can relate. Whenever my hands get sweaty before a big conversation, I remind myself it's literally my body preparing me to perform. Shifting that mindset helps.
Yeah, it's not about eliminating nerves. It's about channeling them. Sometimes I'll do a quick power pose in the restroom just to convert those jitters into something useful.
I love that idea. It's like stealing that anxious energy and using it to be more present, instead of spiraling into self-doubt.
Switching gears a little, what changes everything for me is asking questions instead of worrying about what I'll say next. It takes the pressure off.
Not only does it break the ice, but people actually love talking about themselves. Even a simple, "How did you get into that?" can open up a whole story you never expected.
Exactly, it feels less like an interview if you respond genuinely too. Sometimes their answer gives you a perfect follow-up, and the conversation just flows.
I've noticed it helps you listen better too, since you're focused on their response instead of your own nerves. That's a total game changer.
What's really fun is when you stumble onto something you both geek out over. Suddenly you're not just making small talk, you're connecting for real.
Oh, totally. I once ended up bonding with a stranger at a networking event over our weirdly specific love for obscure board games. Instantly made the whole interaction feel natural.
It's like, once you hit that shared topic, all the awkwardness melts away. Even if it's just favorite pizza toppings, it makes everything less forced.
And honestly, searching for those little overlaps keeps things light. It takes away the pressure of being impressive and just lets you be yourself.
I used to dread those moments where the conversation just stalls. Now, I kind of embrace the pause and see where it leads.
It's interesting. Silence doesn't have to mean failure. Sometimes it gives both people a second to think, or even sparks a more thoughtful response.
Right, and sometimes the best stories come out after a little gap. It's almost like letting the conversation breathe makes it more authentic.
Plus, it takes the pressure off both sides. You don't have to be on every second. A comfortable pause can actually build trust.
Of course, not every conversation lands. I've had plenty of blank stares or people who just weren't interested. At first, that stung way more than it should have.
I hear you, but after a while, those moments start to lose their intensity. Sometimes it's about them, not you. Maybe they're distracted or just having an off day.
Exactly. And the more you put yourself out there, the less it feels personal. Each awkward exchange is just proof you're trying.
What matters is not letting those misses stop you from starting new conversations. That's where real growth happens.
One trick I lean on is humor, even if it's just poking fun at myself. It lightens the mood for everyone and takes the edge off my own nerves.
There's a real charm in that. I've found that sharing a silly story or laughing at a small mistake makes you instantly more relatable. People open up so much faster.
Plus, if you can laugh at yourself, you're showing you're comfortable in your own skin. That's contagious. It puts people at ease.
And honestly, it's a relief when someone else isn't taking themselves too seriously. It signals, hey, we're just two humans figuring this out.
What I've learned is, confidence doesn't mean getting it perfect every time. It's more like collecting tiny wins and learning as you go.
That's so true. Every awkward conversation or slip-up is actually a step forward. If you look at it as practice, it takes all the pressure off.
And sometimes those imperfect moments make for the best stories later on. It's reassuring to know you can improve just by showing up again and again.
Plus, it's kind of liberating to realize nobody has it all figured out. That's what keeps things interesting and real.
So, if someone's listening and wants to get better, my advice is to pick one tiny thing. Maybe start with a smile, or just greet someone new today.
And give yourself credit for every attempt, even if it feels awkward. You'll be surprised how much progress you make by just trying regularly.
The trick is to keep at it, and remember that confidence grows with action, not waiting until you feel ready.
And hey, you might even have fun along the way. Some of my favorite connections happened when I least expected them.